Massey Razor Company, and we're all set to bring you the 1958 Rose Bowl game between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the University of Oregon Ducks. The Gillette Cavalcade of Sports telecasts the major sports events all around the year. Classics like today's Rose Bowl game, the Kentucky Derby, All-Star Baseball game, World Series, Blue and Gray football game, and the feature boxing match of the week every Friday night. This is our thank you to the men and the women who buy Gillette products. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in perfect football weather, 75 degrees here in sunny Southern California, Pasadena, California, we're all set for the 44th annual Tournament of Roses football game. Woody Hayes has brought the pride of the Big Ten or the Western Conference, Ohio State, here to Pasadena to battle Len Casanova's Oregon Ducks. The weather, perfect. A crowd 100,000 strong. The record here is 100,963, established in 1950. And today, the most that they could handle, they tell us, is 100,808. We are located high above the western rim of the Rose Bowl Stadium in Pasadena. You're looking down and around a stadium that runs...
It's going down to the 3-yard line, taken by Dick LeBeau. He's to the 15, up to the 20, and down at about the 22 by Bob Peterson, operating from either a balanced or an unbalanced line. The left end splits out. That's Jim Houston. Bob White, the fullback, tracking across the 25.
Spins to the 27-yard line for pickup of 7. Bob Peterson again, the center of Oregon, makes the stop. So it's second down coming up now for the Buckeyes. They have about 3.5 yards to go. The ball resting on the 27-yard line, 15 yards in the sideline across the way. They come into a tight D up to the line of scrimmage in the balanced line. The starter playing on the belly ride series. It is White again into the left side of the line. Hit at the line of scrimmage, spins for another yard as Jerry Kirshner, the left tackle of Oregon, hauls him down. The ball is finally placed, however, on the 29-yard line, making a pickup of 2 yards. Makes it now third down coming up for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They're highly favored here this afternoon, as Braden Dyer has told you. About 19 points has been quoted as their superiority. We do know, however, that they do a lot of over-the-ground work. Woody Hayes is very much for the power play system. From the tight T, it is a give again to the fullback, White, and he sprays into the middle of that line, drives hard, moves to the 30, and may have picked up to the 31-yard line with Linden, the right tackle of Oregon University, holding on to him to make the initial stop, along with Harriet Mondell, the left guard of Oregon. It's enough for a first down for Ohio State on their own 31-yard line. So it's first down and 10 yards to go now for Ohio State on their own 31-yard line. It means they picked up the first down here this afternoon. They've moved the ball from their own 20-yard line to their 31. 15 yards in the sideline across the way. The Bucks come out, balance line, split T up front. Then split wide 1 yard. Up tight under center is Fremdlis. Fremdlis handing off this time. It was up halfback the ball on the crossover. On the ride series, he dives into the right side of the line, gets up to about the 34-yard line as Jerry Marshall and Ollie Thomas open the hole, allowing him to move to the 35-yard line for a pickup of 4 yards. And there's an injury on the play. Oregon University has an injury on the play. This boy, Marshall, Jim Marshall, the big right tackle from Columbus, Ohio, a sophomore, teams very well with Ohio State's 35th All-American, Ollie Thomas, also of Columbus, a senior, to open the hole that allows the ride series to cross over on the crossbuck play. Number 18 coming in the ball game now for Ohio State has got to be Don Clark, their flashy Akron, Ohio junior halfback. Harry Mondell is the injured Oregonian on the field right now. A wide flanker coming out to the right this time is their end. There is a pitch out and a handoff in the backfield to Bob White, the fullback, and he goes over the right side, moving over his own right tackle up to about the 40-yard line as he picks up just about 5 yards. Make that just short of the 40-yard line in Ohio State territory. Crumbles up tight under center, waiting for Frank to hand the ball back, and on the right series, it's Clark being hit at the line of scrimmage as he crosses over the right side on the handoff. Hit to the 40-yard line, and he goes down on the 40-yard line with Jerry Kirshner from Tacoma, Washington, in there at left tackle for Oregon, making the stop. Now the officials are calling for time to see whether or not LeBeau ran the ball back to the 20-yard line from whence Ohio State started their offense. Up to the line of scrimmage they come now with a balanced line. The end split wide to 1 yard, tight T in the backfield with Krembles up tight on the long count. The ball is snapped back to him. There's the ride series. Again, it's Clark trying to spin to the left side of the line, gets 2, and that's all. He's met hard there by Bob Bruckow and by Chappell, the 2 guards. University of Oregon. 40-yard line, makes the pickup of 2 yards, makes the second and 8 upcoming now for Ohio State as they huddle in the middle of the field. The ball almost equidistant between sidelines on the Ohio State 42. The Buckeyes give you the impression that here against the University of Oregon that they're sort of feeling their way, operating against a 6-man line that shifts into an almost 7. The ball is snapped and pitched back to Clark, who swings wide around the right side, gets right down to it, blocking breakthrough, moves to the Oregon 42, and he speaks to the 45, and goes down and hit hard on the 40-yard line on this side of the field. Jim Wilson made a fine downfield block for Clark, who swung wide around the right side and turned the corner, ran down this sideline, and Jack Forrest, very fleet-footed fullback of the University of Oregon, made the stop. That ball is resting on the 40-yard line for a 27-yard gain by Clark. Well, that'll be first down and 10 yards to go now for Ohio State, their third first down. That pitch out this time to Joe Canadino. He swings right around the left. He's being trapped. He versus his heel, comes back to keep him going over the 40 to the 45. He goes deep, and 3 men take a dive at him. He's still on his feet on the 40-yard line, and finally knocked down on the 38-yard line by Jerry Kirchner. Joe Canadino tried to turn the corner at left end over the far sideline. Found nobody there to block for him. Turned and swung deep to the 45-yard line and came back finally to the 38-yard line for a loss of 8 yards. Well, Minnesota has that Juniper defense of his working here this afternoon as they bottled in Joe Canabino, the senior right halfback from Cleveland, Ohio. So it's second down coming up now. About 18 yards to go as flanker Don Clark goes off to the left to shuttle the sideline, the far side of the field. The ball is taken along the draw play. White is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Coming in there very fast is Linden and Fuller. Linden from Everett, Washington, the right tackle of Oregon. Don Stowe to the right end from Vallejo, California. The ball is still resting on the 38-yard line. On this side of the field, 15 yards in from this sideline. This is the west sideline. The University of Oregon defending using a 6-man line against Ohio State's balanced line up front with the end split wide for 1 yard. On the split tee, the backfield is tight. Kremlis calls his signals, takes a pitch out, rolls off to the left, throws the forward pass downfield. It's defeated on the 20. To the 10 goes the receiver. Hit at the 5 and knocked out of bounds on the 4-yard line. Sophomore Jim Houston of Pasadena, Ohio, makes the catch. Charlie Purville, defending for Oregon, finally made the stop down on, let's call that the 3-yard line. Down to the 3-yard line goes this play. Good for about 35 yards. That'll be the 4th first down. Down to the 3 for a 35-yard pass play. And everyone was talking about Oregon be the team to do the passing. Ohio State suddenly has taken to the air and it's put them in scoring position. Well, I'll pick these glasses up and see what that backfield is going to do on the tight tee. Balanced up front. Kremlis takes the ball, tries the quarterback sneak, and moves up about a yard. That's it. It'll be second down and about a yard and a half and goal to go. Jerry Kirchner in there with Linden to make the stop. Put that ball down on about the 2-yard line. It'll be pretty close to the 1-yard line. Just about a yard for Ohio State on the Oregon 40-yard line. Second down coming up. Oregon now in the shuttle with their own goalpost, fighting with their backs to the wall. Let's see what kind of a goal line stand these Bucks will be able to make. The Buckeyes come out of the huddle. Up to the line of scrimmage, they move tight in the backfield. Kremlis up tight on the center. Takes the ball again, tries to sneak, and he's in. A touchdown, Ohio State. Ohio's Frank Kremlis, the quarterback in the sneak. Right off the left side center, moves over the 1-yard. Morris. The ball is kicked by Kremlis. It's a high twister coming down to about the 5-yard line. It's taken out by Morris. He swings right to the sideline, the far side of the 20. He's up to the 25. Tries to turn in at the 25 and goes about 3 more. Knocks out of bounds on about the 28-yard line, the far side of the field. So it'll be first down and 10 yards to go now for the University of Oregon on their own 20. Let's go at the 8-yard line. We make sure where Mr. Stover's going to put the ball down. It is the 27-yard line. Tight in the backfield now. They swing a flanker off to the right. The ball is taken by Crabtree. He keeps it on the quarterback opposite, sliding off the right side and comes over the left side of his own right guard, so to speak, and up to the 29-yard line for a pickup of about 1 yard. Stopped there by Jim Houston, down left end, the 19-year-old sophomore from Massillon, Ohio. Again, let's see in the backfield, the flanker is off to the right. A man in motion, a fake pitch out and a handoff to the fullback Morris. He stopped at the line of scrimmage as he tries to sneak through the left side. He gets just shy of the 30-yard line in Oregon territory. It's Bob White of Covington along with Dick Shaprath, and Houston makes a stop. So it's the third down coming up now for Oregon. They do not huddle. They just come up to the line of scrimmage. They have their signals called out in sequence prior to the start of the game. There's a spot pass across the line of scrimmage, complete. The right end over. Very nicely executed on the button hook up to the 39-yard line for a first down for Oregon. So it's a first down and 10 yards to go now for Oregon on their own 39-yard line. Very nice jump pass, a screen jump pass, and a button hook by the right end Ron Stover. Very sure-handed young fellow. There's a pitch back, and Morris tries running around the right side and gets into the clear for the moment, and suddenly he has them bundling up from the 45-yard line to the far side of the field of Shaprath, the Worcester, Ohio boy, junior at Ohio State. The left tackle comes in there very solidly, knocks him down on, calling at the 46-yard line. On the 46-yard line, so that'll be a pickup of 6 yards, make it 7 yards. And the University of Oregon now, again, is on the quick opening, playing a handoff to the right halfback. That's Shenley trying to pump his way through the right side of the line. He moves to the 49-yard line, and it's just shy of a first down. Just shy of a first down for Oregon. Now, for the first time, Oregon goes back to the huddle to call their next sequence of plays. The clock is running, make that the 48-yard line. Pickup of 2 yards on the play, and it'll be the third down coming up now for Oregon. They have 2 yards to gain. They send a flanker out wide to the left. The flanker is out wide to the left. That will be Torville, Charlie Torville. Running to the right side on the quarterback option, it's Jack Crabtree taking the pitch out to his fullback, and then trying to sneak over the right side of the 50. He hits the 15, goes down as Jim Houston makes the stop, but it's enough for a first down for Oregon, right on the 50-yard line. So that's the second first down now for Oregon. Oregon has 2. They're trailing 7-0 here in the ball game. Charlie Torville comes out as a flanker over to the sidelines right down below our Gillette NBC microphones. Ready for Crabtree to call the signals on the long count. He's up tight under center to take it on the balance line. He runs along the right side and hands off to his right halfback, and Shanley through the right side of the line to the 48-yard line, Ohio State territory. But I believe a red flag has gone down on the play. Jim Marshall, the right tackle of Ohio State, made the stop. Backfield in motion is being charged against Oregon University. And let's see whether Ohio State's co-captains will accept or decline the penalty. The ball is resting right now on the 48-yard line. It started out in the 50-yard line. The 5-yard penalty would move it back to the Oregon 45. We'll see whether or not it's being refused. It's being refused. The down will be recorded. It'll be the second down coming up and about 8 yards to go for Oregon on the Ohio State 48-yard line, about 15 yards in the sideline across the way. I'd just like to alert the stations along the network. Since we have an opportunity, we'll pause for identification just as soon as we get the chance. A wide flanker 15 yards outside of left end is Charlie Torville, the left halfback. Up tight under center is Jack Crabtree, calling the signals. Split the end wide by 5 yards on the right side. Operating against a 6-man line. There is a handoff to the fullback Morris. Morris to the right side of the line. On the crossover play, gets up to just about the 45-yard line before R.A. Thomas, Ohio State's All-American guard, makes the stop on the 45 for a pickup of about 3. So it's Oregon coming up with fourth down. Fourth down coming up for Oregon. They have just about 2 yards to gain. They're going to take a run at it. That's a fourth down, make that third down coming up. There's Crabtree fading back, bucks his arm, throws a pass downfield. It's intercepted on the Ohio State 30 by Joe Canavino, and he stopped immediately on the Ohio State 30 on the interception. So Ohio State takes over, first down and 10 yards to go on their own 30-yard line. First and 10 on the 30-yard line. And let's see, it is Ohio State going back into the huddle. Is Ohio State taking time out or not? They are not taking time out, apparently, and let's pause here 10 seconds for station identification. KFI, Los Angeles. First down and 10 yards to go. It's 7-0 Ohio State over the University of Oregon. Now from the tight T in the backfield with the end split wide for 1 yard. It's Kremlis up tight on the long count, calling his signal. Takes the ball and turns around on the stutter play, hands it off to his fullback Bob White. Through the left side goes Bob. Off the left guard, between left guard and left tackle, moving up to about the 33 before he's stopped by Jerry Kirshner in there low and hard for the University of Oregon. Make that the 33-yard line. For a pickup of 3 yards makes it 2nd and 7 coming up for Ohio State on their own 33. We're in the first quarter of the ball game, and Ohio State, thanks to Kremlis' pass to Houston. They set up the play where Kremble sneaked over, and the quarterback sneaked for the touchdown and kicked the extra point. Ohio State leads 7-0. On the long count, Kremble's up tight under center with the tight T in the backfield. Turns, pitches back to Clark, who gets down to a blocking. Swings around the right side to break away runners up to the 40. Hits the 40-yard line right down over the microphones and knocked down by Sandy Frazier, who's in there now at quarterback for Oregon. That was a pickup of about 8 yards to give Ohio State a first down and 10 yards to go on their own 41-yard line. It's a fifth first down here this afternoon, as Oregon now is about to send in an entire new ball club. We'll check them as John Ramsey, working here in the Pacific Coast and working with us for the fourth time at the Rose Bowl game, line of scrimmage. Sending their flanker out wide to the left, that is Bowermaster, their left end. He's 15 yards outside of tackle. The fullback on the handoff, White, rips through the left side of the line from the 41-yard line up to about the 46-yard line as Funk, Jupko, and Shaprath open the forward row for him up to the 46. For a pickup of 5, stopped by Willie West, San Diego, California sophomore at left halfback, defensively for the University of Oregon. The ball is equidistant between the sidelines on the Ohio State 46-yard line as they send their left end wide about 5 yards. A man in motion in the backfield. It is White taking the ball on the handoff, driving over the 50 up to about the 47-yard line of Oregon on the far side of the field before he's knocked down by Kimbrough, who's in there at left end now for Oregon. It's enough for a first down, of course, up to the 46-yard line for a pickup of 9 yards. Ohio State first and 10 on the University of Oregon 7-yard line. Direction, 47-yard line. Right flanker coming off to the right is Bowermaster. That is way outside the right end, and on the fake pitch out and hand over to White, the fullback, he's through the left side of the line again, trying to break into the clear, but he moves down to about the 46-yard line, where he's nailed hard by Altenhofen, the right end of Oregon, and also by Ashwalker, who's in there now at left tackle. We'll check the forward wall of Oregon for you just as soon as we possibly can. Kimbrough is in there at left end, and Altenhofen at right end. Ohio State up to the line of scrimmage on their second down, coming up at about 8 yards to go. They keep a tight T in the backfield. The ball is taken, a fake pitch back, and a keep by Kremplis. He fades off to the left, rolls out towards the pass. Down on the far side of the field at the 35-yard line to Houston. And it's Houston who was knocked down and out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. At the 24-yard line for a pickup of about 23 yards. Well, that'll be another first down on the Oregon 24-yard line on the far sideline. 7 first downs for Ohio State, and they haven't called a timeout in this ball game yet. Oregon on defense with the 6-man line. Ohio State operating. There's the pitch back. It's Clark trying to turn the right side, get some downfield blocking, but tries to step away from his interference, and on the 25-yard line, it's hit at the 25 on this side of the field as he tries to turn the corner. A knockdown on the 24th and no gain. So it'll be second down coming up with about 10 yards to go. Bob Hurd in that right guard for Oregon. From a tight T in the backfield on the long count, Kremble sends the men off to the right fake, pitching out, and keeps himself fade back and stowed under on the 35. The whole host of Oregonians come in. Reed, along with Bob Hurd. Reed was the man who made the initial stop back on the 34-yard line. On the 34-yard line, so it's a loss. Flanker off to the left is Dick LeBeau. He's 15 yards outside of left end. Ohio State on the Oregon 34. Kremble at quarter calling his signals, takes the ball, fades back, cocks his arm, puts his field over. There's a long one downfield. It's to LeBeau on the 10-yard line over his fingertips, incomplete. Randy Frazier was the defender for the University of Oregon. Also, Willie West was in there. Willie West was the halfback. 7-0. Ohio State is leading Oregon. As Woody Hayes gets completing the team off the bench and gets ready to send them into the ball game with about 7 seconds left to play here in the first period. They're all reporting down in the field right now. Let's see, we'll check up the backfield for you principally because we're over the ball handlers here with Ohio State coming up fourth down and about 20 yards to go. Fourth and about 24 Ohio State on the University of Oregon 34-yard line. They're 15 yards into the sideline. On this, the west sideline at Pasadena. Standing back on the Ohio State 45-yard line comes Southern. He kicks the ball. It's a high kick going into the Oregon end zone. Into the Oregon end zone with about 2 seconds left to play in the first period of the ball game. So that means a touchback, and Oregon will take over. First down at 10 yards to go on their own 20-yard line. So it's first and 10 for Oregon on their 20 on the touchback. Kick into the end zone by Southern in that left halfback. The University of Oregon will go back to huddle now. We'll check their backfield of Sandy Fraser at quarterback, Willie Westcott at halfback, Reed at right halfback, and Osborne at fullback. From a tight tee in the backfield, they take the ball, and it's handed off on the crossbuck to Willie West. Willie West coming through the right side of the line, moves over up to about his own 24-yard line, and that does it. That does it for the end of the first quarter. Up to the 24-yard line comes University of Oregon. And up to the 24-yard line they'll come when they change sides here. You know, this Casanova is quite a surprising fellow. He's quite a leader, and we've been seeing a lot more fireworks here from his boys than many of the experts expected. You recall, he's a leader of men. He led men into the Orange Bowl in 1950. He led Santa Clara in there and upset the University of Kentucky. He's also been in the Sugar Bowl, and now here he is in the Rose Bowl. There is a fake credit play and a pitch out to the right halfback. It's Reed going down the left sideline and finally spins his way over to the 40, moving up to the 45-yard line as Morris gives him fine downfield blocking. That's the first breakaway run by Oregon here this afternoon. Down to the 45-yard line for a pickup of 51 yards to the 45-yard line. That was quite a run on that play. So Oregon, trying to break loose here, picks up their third first down. They send a flanker off wide to the right. That'll be Charlie Turville. Ready for the ball to be snapped back now to the quarterback, Jack Crabtree, who's in there, calling the signals now for Oregon. He takes the ball, slides along on the quarterback option, turns, pitches back. Again, it is their halfback. This time it's Shenley off the left side, trying to turn the corner and is not able to make it. He gets to the about 46-yard line and knocked down there for a gain of just about a yard. Master and Thomas making stop. 15 yards in the sideline across the way. Oregon goes back to the huddle, breaks and comes out of it. They have Crabtree at quarter. Charlie Turville at left half. Right halfback now is Shenley. And Jack Morris is at fullback. Ryan Stover comes way wide. Ready for the ball to be snapped back now on long count. It's Crabtree up time into center, takes the ball, fades back. Puts his field over, cocks his arm, throws a sharp pass downfield to the 45-yard line, Ohio State territory. It's intended for Charlie Turville, but broken up down there by Galen Cisco. They make that about right. So the third down coming up now for Oregon. The ball resting on the Oregon 46-yard line, 15 yards in the sideline across the way. And this is the second quarter of the Rose Bowl game, with the score standing 7-0 in favor of Ohio State. A flanker coming off to the right. Number 30 is Jack Shenley. He's 15 yards outside of right end. The ball is taken. There's a big jump pass as the quarterback himself keeps Crabtree up the middle, moves to the Ohio State 45 down to the 43-yard line. As John Clark finally comes in to make the stop. Very fine downfield blocking by Bob Peterson, the center, who led all the way. The ball is being placed now on the 43-yard line. Pick up 12 yards and first down for Oregon. On the Ohio State 43-yard line. They send a flanker off wide to the right again, send their left end wide. The ball is taken and kept, then pitched out to the halfback Shenley, who's around the left side, turns the corner on the far side of the field, moves to the 35, is hit and goes to about the 33-yard line for another Oregon first down. So that would be 11 yards on that pickup. Oregon moving here against Ohio State has picked up their fifth first down. It's 7-0, Ohio State over Oregon. We're in the second period of the ball game, and Ohio State very rapidly has scored in the first period, and since that time, Oregon has given them fits. Sends a flanker out wide to the right. Ball is snapped, given to the quarterback. Quarterback over to Morris, to the line, over to 20, and it'll bring up to a first down down about the 21-yard line. But I believe that offside is going to be charged against the University of Oregon. Either not a holding. Offside has been flashed by an official against Ohio State. It has been refused, and Oregon takes the ball on the Ohio State 21. So that's 12 yards. Makes another first down now for Oregon. Please remember, they began on their own 21-yard line. And they've moved down now to the Ohio State 21-yard line, which means they've picked up about 58 yards. Sends his right halfback out wide to the right. Takes the ball, fades back, cocks his arm, throws the pass. That's completed down on the 10-yard line. Under the 10-yard line, and I believe the completion is going to be ruled all right at the 10-yard line. The receiver was Charlie Turville, and he stepped out of bounds just as he grabbed the ball, but the officials say it's a good one down on the 10-yard line, so it'll be another first down. Unbalanced line. Trades off to the right, quarterback option play. He keeps it himself, moves to the 5, and he puts him down to the 5-yard line. Number 65 down there making the stop. He's got the big field job for Lansing, Ohio, on the Ohio State 5. So it's second down, 5 and goal to go. Quarterback option play with Jack Crabtree running off to the right, keeping the ball himself. Let's see, the ball is equidistant between sidelines, right in front of the goalpost on the Ohio State 5-yard line. Oregon has cut aloud. These ducks are ready to move. They're sending their left end very wide to the left. He's 15 yards outside of the line of scrimmage. Wide of the line of scrimmage. Crabtree takes the ball. Quarterback option. Pitches back to Shenley. He's around the left side to the goal line. He's over. Have driven here from their own 1-yard line over for a touchdown. They kept the ball and moved it all the way, about 79 yards for a touchdown. It's now 7-6 Ohio State. Let's see who's going to try for the extra point. It'll be Morris, and the hold the ball will be Jack Crabtree. Ready for the ball to be snapped back now by center down Peterson. The kick, it is good. Mr. Dyer, I got a sneaking suspicion we're going to get loaded with action this afternoon.
I think so, Al. It looks like that type of game. The Oregon team, by spreading Ohio's defense and with their fast backs, Shanley and Morris, were able to negotiate an offense there that traveled a full 80 yards. The first quarter ended with the ball on Oregon's 23-yard line, and then second quarter opening, they drove all the way for the touchdown with some beautiful ball handling by Jack Crabtree, and the score is tied at 7-7. Come in again, Al Helper.
Morris is moving forward on Mr. Stover's whistle. The ball is booted high. It's an end-over-end kick down to Clark on the 3-yard line. He takes it on the 3, comes up the sideline on this side of the field, picks up some downfield blocking, moves to the 20, gets away from 2 men, he's moved to the 25 on the far sideline and dumped on his own about 27-yard line by Sandy Fraser. Ball on the 27-yard line. A run back that time of 24 yards by Clark. It'll be first down and 10 yards to go for Ohio State on their own 27-yard line. 15 yards in the sideline. Across the way. 7-7 in quite an exhibition of football here between the University of and the battling Buckeyes of Ohio State University, the champions of the Big Ten. A tight in the backfield as Frank Dundas sneaks up under center to call, takes the ball on the ride series, hands off to his fullback. It's White driving to the right side of the line, moves over the 30 and fights his way to the 35-yard line. Brought down on the 35-yard line, across the way on a hard low driving tackle by Jim Linden of Everett, Washington, in that right tackle for the University of Oregon. The ball on the 35-yard line to pick up that time of about 8 yards. Nice downfield blocking in there by Don Front. At center, really get in there, low and hard. Ball on the 35, Ohio State again putting it in operation with the tight D. A fumble. Let's see who's recovered down there on the 35-yard line. A fumble on the handoff. Ball is taken and placed. I believe the whistle blew before the fumble had occurred on the 35-yard line. Crumbles up time, center takes the ball, and on the right series, hands to Clark to the right side of the line. Goes Clark off his own right tackle, goes to the 39. Hit hard and dropped on the 39-yard line by Shanley. Right down on the 39-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 4 yards. They may place that ball on the 40 for another first down for Ohio State. We'll see in just a few moments. However, I believe that Ohio State is taking time out. We'll see that in just a moment. Right for 1 yard, they got a balanced line up front. The ball is taken, and they take pitch out, and the fullback is given it on the semi-draw play. It's right through the left side of the line up to the 45. Hit it to 45 and dropped there by Leroy Phelps. Ball on the 45-yard line for pickup of 5. 5 yards. Mr. White rolls to the center of that line. The ball equidistant between the sidelines. Make that the 46-yard line. It'll be better on the 46-yard line for pickup of 6. Comes off in motion. There's a pitch out. The ball kept by Douglas and deep through the right side of the line. Breaking the field goes down to Oregon 20. Hit at the 20-yard line on the far sideline. Got knocked down from behind. Jack Shenley was finally able to catch Crumbliss on the far sidelines. He faked the pitch out, faked a handoff, and then sneaked through the line, went off to the right, moved down to the 17-yard line. A nice downfield blocking there on that 35-yard gallop was Alfred Thomas. who did it. So it's first down and 10 yards to go for Ohio State on the quick opening sneaker play. They went through the right side of the line. Nice downfield blocking. Ball down to the 17-yard line. Time is being taken out down in the field now. Bet your boots on that. The score, Ohio State 7, the University of Oregon 7. Sluggers in at right halfback now replacing Shanley for Oregon. The ball is given to Clark on the handoff. He crosses over, tries his own right tackle, but moves to the line of scrimmage and gets just about a yard, and that's it. Very low, hard driving for the Jerry Kirshner from Washington. Jerry Kirshner at left tackle for the University of Oregon. The ball down to actually the 15-yard line. That's about a pickup of 2 yards. Makes up coming down to second for Ohio State. Tight in the backfield is kept by Kremlis as he calls signals under center. Fakes a pitch back, keeps himself, turns to the right, tries to sneak through the right side of the line, picks up about 2 yards, and then he's knocked down on the far sideline. Quick opening play on the front wall by Jim Marshall, the right tackle, and by Avery Thomas, the right guard. The 12-yard line will pick up actually of 3 yards. The fine Rose Bowl exhibition of collegiate football here this afternoon. Tight in the backfield, a big pitch out, rolling off to the left, Stumbles, boxes on, throws the ball. It's blocked in place by number 85. That's up to be Lyndon Kimbrough of San Diego, California, for Central Oregon. He was ball hawking that time, was able to knock down the attempted pass by Frank Douglas. And now Ohio State will send in a substitution. On the 68, that will be Bertho Arnold, Columbus, a sophomore coming in the ball game, a 269-pound guard. He'll come in at right guard, probably, to replace Thomas. We'll see in a moment. No, he does not replace Thomas. He's replacing Marshall. Still 5 to go for Ohio State on the 12 of Oregon. There's a pass on the center. For Neil Brown, it's incomplete. Jack Crabtree in their defense from Oregon, so that means Oregon will pick up the ball on their own 12. They've held in the shadow of their own goal post. Oregon, first down and 10 yards to go on their own 12-yard line in a surprising football game here this afternoon in the second quarter, tied at 7-7. Changes in the backfield for the University of Oregon as they take over. Ben Casanova sends in Crabtree at quarter. Shanley at right halfback. At fullback is Jack Morris. We'll check the left halfback in a moment, but we believe it to be Leroy Phelps of San Bernardino, California, senior. Side of the field, they send the right end 15 yards outside of the line of scrimmage. That's Stover. The ball is given, and on the stutter play, it's Morris. Fullback up the middle to the 15-yard line, hit at the 15 and dropped on the 16-yard line, but Bill Jubko. So from the 12 to 16 for pick up of 4. Makes the second round coming up for Oregon. They still have 6 to go. Willie West making the block in there. The stop made by Don Southern, who is in now for Kremlis for Ohio State. The line of scrimmage now moves the Oregon Ducks, sending their flanker off to the left to hug the sideline again on the far side of the field. The ball is given to the fullback on the stutter play. It's Morris going his way over the 20 to about the 21 as Thomas and Jobco make the stop for Ohio State. Ball on the 21-yard line. The tight team in the backfield all the way this time, and on the handoff play it is fullback Morris to the middle of the line to 25. It is 25 by Jim Marshall. Leo Brown in there, I should say, and Bertho Arnold make the stop for Ohio State. Let's see, there is the first down for Oregon on their own 26-yard line. First and 10 Oregon on their 26-yard line. Let's see, Murray, how many first downs for Oregon now? Got 8 of them. Oregon has the ball. They're controlling it. They're running it. There's the quarterback option. He crossed to the left, takes the pitch back, and out. Moves to his own 31 and knocked out of bounds by Dan Funk, backing up the Ohio State line. But the West gave the nice downfield block in there for Oregon. Ball on the 32-yard line, so that'll be a pickup of 6. Makes the second down coming from 4 yards to go. There will be a change in that Oregon backfield. Let's quickly pause 10 seconds for station identification. All right, Oregon ready to operate as they send the flanker out to the left. And on the big pitch out, it is the halfback Shanley trying to cross over, taking the handoff from his quarterback, moves over to about the 33-yard line. His hip goes to the 34 for 2 yards, and that's it on this play. The ball was 15 yards in the sideline. Stopped that time, but Bertho Arnold of Columbus, a sophomore, in the right tackle. 7-7. Ohio State, the University of Oregon, battling it out here in the Rose Bowl this afternoon. A flanker is off to the left that time. It's Willie West. On the draw play, it's fullback Morris handling, moving up to the line of scrimmage. His left flag goes down on the field and pulls his way to his own 37. But apparently offside is going to be called against the Oregon Left-foots. That's offside. It's an offside penalty being called. 5 yards against Oregon. That puts him back on the 29-yard line. Let's see. Tight T in the backfield. Crabtree turns and pitches back to Willie West, who tries to throw a pass, and it is knocked down and then grabbed in the air by Keeley, who holds onto the ball and moves up to the 37-yard line before he's knocked down. A blocked forward pass is grabbed by Keeley in midair, and he moves the ball to his own 37. That gives Oregon a first down. You talk about breaks in a ball game. There's one for you. That'll give them 9 first downs to match Ohio State right here. That's something else you can write down. There's a break in the ball game. Ball between sidelines on the Oregon 37. Their possession. Based on the flanker off the left, that's Willie West, who tried to make the pass. There is a fake draw play, and it's quarterback Crabtree keeping him being knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. His red flag goes down on the field. And Font was in there to make the stop. University of Oregon being penalized 5 yards for having been offside on that last play, so that'll move the ball back now to about the 32-yard line. There'll be first down coming up at 15 yards to go for them. We're talking about writing stuff down here just a few moments ago, but you can write this down that penalty has been refused, so the ball will be still resting on the 37-yard line as Oregon goes back to take their huddle. They go now on their own 37-yard line. Out of the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage. A pitch back to West, who rolls right around to the right, goes past boundaries, completed to the 50-yard line. Over right end Silver. His sure hands have it on the Ohio State 45. He's left down to Candino. Candino in to make the stop as Oregon has gone to the air and moves to the Ohio State 45. They pick up 17 on the play, and another first down. It puts them ahead of Ohio State now in the 7-7 ball game. Dave Fish, who is now in at center for Oregon, was the man who made a nice downfield block on that play. First and 10 of the Ohio State 45. A draw play, and the force up the middle to the Ohio State 30. That's for really kill it. Right up to the 30-yard line. Stopped by Galen Cisco. Backing up the line for Ohio State. As Oregon moves to its 12th first down on the Ohio State 31. Hey, goodness, they're really moving here this afternoon. This is a surprise Cinderella ball club. First and 10 on the Ohio State 31. The ball is taken, and on the draw play, it's Morris trying the center of the line, and he gets nowhere. Right into the center of the line, and he's hit down hard by big Bertha Arnold. Well, it's a 30. Number 64 getting up off the bottom of that fly, wouldn't you know it? Ohio State All-American Harry Thomas. Crabtree calls his signals out, takes the ball, fumbles it as he attempts to pitch on. There's a free ball down there. Ohio State recovers it on their own 38-yard line as Dan Font was ball hawking all the way and made the recovery on the Ohio State 38. Fumble stops the Oregon forward motion. Ohio State taking over on their own 38-yard line, first down and 10. A red flag on the field, however, and we may have a penalty. We'll see just how it might affect the final situation here. Calling signals for Ohio State, takes the ball, and on the stutter play, hands off to fullback right, whips up the middle of the 50-yard line, goes over into the Oregon territory to the about 47 before he is stopped by Bob Rutkow on the 47-yard line. Picks up just about 10 yards. Yeah, that's enough to make it a first down for Ohio State on the 10-yard line. Good job. Down from the team. And it's Clark carrying the ball around the right side. Turns the corner, moves down to about the 32-yard line where he's knocked out of bounds. Frank Cummings making the downfield block for him along with Bob White. Dave Fish at center making the stop. So that's a first down now for Ohio State on the 33-yard line of Oregon. They're on the huddle to the line of scrimmage now. There's a fake handoff, and keeping it coupled, the toss to the left and cuts back over his own left tackle, moves into the 25-yard line and spins as he hits and goes over to about 24, with Grover of Anaheim, California. Quarterback in there to make the stop for Oregon. Around the 24-yard line, got a little over a minute left to play in the first half of the ball game, and it's been a dandy 7-7. There is a quick stutter play handoff, and it's Tremble keeping the ball being bottled up for the moment. Back on the 30-yard line, still running. He's come to the sideline, and pushed down by Morris on the 30-yard line. He couldn't find anyone to pass to and had to keep himself. As the Boys of Trade say, Tremble that time had to eat that big skin. Back on the 30-yard line, he loses 6. So it'll be Ohio State coming up here now on the University of Oregon 30-yard line. But calling for timeout is Ohio State. We'll probably find a lot of them from here on out on those timeouts. A man goes in motion at the clock. He blocks a man as Tremble stays back and throws it past the right, or intended to right on the 20. But the big fellow is able to get his hands on it. He was in the clear and couldn't hold. Paul Grover of Anaheim, California, the junior quarterback in there now for Oregon, was the closest man to him. The ball is on the 30-yard line in Oregon territory. Possession of Ohio State, 15 yards in the sideline on the west side of the field. One clock rides the sideline, flag back. As Tremble takes the ball, fades back. It's being charged, brought down. Back on the Oregon 44. Number 74 was in there. That's Hushbucker. Hushbucker of Grineville, Oregon. He's the man in there to make the stop. Back on the 42-yard line, and Oregon will take over. Oregon will take over first and 10 on the road ball at 44-yard line. So Oregon's ball first and 10 on 44. And the quarterback option play is being exercised now. The pitch out to Shanley. He's around the left side of the line, moves to the 50, hits the 50, goes to the 49 Ohio State territory. As things are moving fast here. Things are moving fast. Ball covered on the 48-yard line in Ohio State territory. In the possession of Oregon with about 20 seconds left to play in the first half of the 7-7 tie. A flanker is off to the left to right the sideline. The pitchback, however, comes to fullback Morris. He scoots his way up the middle to the 40 and fights at 2 minutes, goes to the 38. Jack Morris on the pitch on the cutback play. Moves to the 14th first down for Oregon on the Ohio State 38-yard line. And that is it as far as the first half of this ball game is concerned. And believe me, the stuff that will be coming up in the second half of this one this afternoon will be something. As the fans here at Pasadena stand and applaud the two teams as they go off the field. Well, right now, let me for a moment get down to a few words.
7 at halftime. It was halfway through the first period. Ohio State drawing first blood. They went 79 yards in 13 plays. A 27-yard run by Clark. A 36-yard pass. Trembless to Houston moved the ball to the 2-yard line, where on second down, Trembless got in for the touchdown. Trembless's point after was good, and Ohio State led with 7:57 left to play in the first quarter by a score of 7-0. Then in the second period, Oregon got rolling. They went 80 yards in 10 plays, with Shanley scoring from the 5. Morris's point after tied it up at 7-7, and in that series of plays, it was Jack Crabtree, the quarterback, mixing up his plays.
We're in the second half of it as Trembless moves forward on the whistle, boots the ball deep to the 10-yard line. It's taken by Morris on the 10. He scoots to the sideline, the far side, to the 15, to the 20. Still on his feet, gets up to about the 25-yard line, where he's hit on the neck-high tackle by Bob White. So the ball will be down on the 25-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go now for Oregon on their own 25. They come up to the line of scrimmage. They send a flanker off to the left. That's Charlie Turvo, 15 yards outside of left end. He's cracked over to the sideline on this side of the field, operating against the 6-man line. As the man goes in motion, the ball is taken by Crabtree on the quarterback option. He's hot behind the line of scrimmage on the 20-yard line as Bill Jobco goes knifing through and drops in there along with Bob White to make the stop. Back on call at the 21-yard line for a loss this time of 4 yards. Makes it second down coming up and 14 now. Left end is put 15 yards outside. Crabtree takes the ball, fades back. He's being bottled. Runs off to the right on the 10-yard line. Throws the pass downfield. Completed on the 30-yard line. It is Silver, the sure group end, who got the ball on the 34-yard line. Is knocked down on the 33. Right on the 33-yard line. That'll be a first down. First down. Or near a first down. It's a third down. Near first down. It's a third down for Oregon about 2. Another pass throw to Stover, who nails it on the 43. Joe Cannavino making the stop. That's Stover with those sure hands of his, those blue fingers up there grabbing on the 43. Knocked down on the 43 for a first down. Well, that's for sure. A first down and 10 yards to go for Oregon on their own 43-yard line. Out of the huddle they come charging as they send Thorville, the left halfback, right out to the left to crack down the sidelines right under our microphones. Crabtree operating up tight under center on the long count. T formation being used by both clubs. The handoff to the fullback. It's Jack Morris trying to center the line, but Harry Thomas meets him there at the center of the line on about the 43-yard line for a gain. The ball is about 15 yards in from sideline. Make that 17 yards to the sideline, the far side of the field. Thorville again wide to the left, about 15 yards outside of left end. Crabtree takes the ball, fades off to the right, rolls out, fakes throwing a pass, keeps, and finally does throw the ball, and it is intercepted by right halfback Joe Cannavino on the 48-yard line. It was intended for Stover, who finally had to make the tackle of Cannavino. One interception for Ohio State gives them the ball on Oregon's 48. That'll be first down and 10 yards to go now for Ohio State on the Oregon 48-yard line. Number 36. Coming out right at fullback now for Ohio State. First and 10 on the Oregon 48-yard line. Sandy Frazier in at quarter now for Oregon defensively. White on the give-off. Bucks his way up to the 45-yard line. So they're back to the huddle line, come to the line of scrimmage on second down and 7. The score standing here, 7 for Ohio State, 7 for the University of Oregon. Ohio State ready to move now with the tight team in the backfield. The ball is taken by Kremlis, spins and gives off Clark, who touches to the left side of the line on the quick opening play and down to the 40-yard line again. Number 70. Down to the 40-yard line again. Number 71 in there to make the stop. That'll be Jim Linden, the Everett Washington boy playing right tackle for Oregon. The ball is going to be placed on the 39-yard line. So that's a pickup to the 39, makes it fourth down coming up, just about a yard to go for Ohio State. And let's see what they're going to do on the Oregon 39, and a tight ball game tied at 7-7. She's ends in tight 1 yard wide on the split. The ball is given to White. Saves into the middle of the line, and I believe he may have made it. I don't know. White on the give-off. It's going to be pretty close now as they unfile. The referee's in there right now. Stover has grabbed that ball, and I believe Oregon has held. Bob Drutso was in there low and hard, refused to be taken out of the play. Stover has asked for the chain, apparently, to be brought in. He is calling for an official's timeout for a measurement to see whether or not Ohio State has made it a first down on about the 38-yard line of Oregon. They did not. Oregon held it. Just about a foot short. Oregon will take over first down and 10 yards to go on their own about 38-yard line. The right end is 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, hugging the sideline across the way. Crabtree takes the ball on the draw, hands it to Morris, and he's into the left side of the line, stopped by Chick Shafrath of Ohio State. Right into the line for a gain of just about a yard in that setting. 32 was Thomas. Here's Thorville. There's Crabtree fading back and throws a pass that is knocked down. Whistle blows. One of the Oregon boys picked the ball up and fumble. The whistle had already blown and will be brought back to the 39-yard line. Shafrath and Thomas were both in there to throw arms up to block a pass, and either one of the two could have made the block on the pass. It's a 7-7 ball game between Ohio State and the University of Oregon as Thorville hugs the sideline across the way. The right halfback is with flanker on the tee. Crabtree takes the ball, fades back, makes no bones about it. He cocks his arm, throws a long pass downfield, completed. The 25 is Thorville down on the 45-yard Ohio State line. He's knocked down immediately by Cannavino. Oregon is taken to the air. Move the ball to the 45-yard line for a 16-yard pickup on the play and a first down. First down, 10 yards to go for Oregon on the first down. They're 3 first downs ahead of this great Ohio State crew. They send Turville, a flanker to the left, to hug the sideline on this side of the field. Crabtree up tight under center, calls his signals against the 6-man defensive line. The ball is snapped. He fades off to the right quarterback. Oxford, he keeps, he moves to the 40. Is hit at the 40 and dropped on the far sidelines by Cannavino, coming up fast from the Ohio secondary. To the 45-yard line, to the 40-yard line, from the 45 to a pickup of 5. Makes it 2nd down and 5 coming up for Oregon. They're playing right in front of the Oregon Rooters, just across the way on the east sideline. Time is being called out down on the field, apparently, by Ohio State. And Ohio State is taking that time out down on the field. 6-man defense. The ball is taken, faked on the handoff. Crabtree fades. He's cut like a line of scrimmage on his 49. Knocked down back there by right end Leo Brown. Co-captain. They cut the 48-yard line. As he sneaked in, knifed under and made his tackle. 8-yard loss. All back to the 48-yard line of Ohio State, possessed of Oregon. Makes a 3rd down coming up, down about 13 yards to go. Ball 15 yards in the sideline across the way. We have about 7 minutes and a half to play in the 3rd period. All tied at 7-7. A tight tee in the backfield for the Ducks this time. Crabtree takes the ball, fakes the handoff, fades back, cocks his arm, looks, then throws downfield. On the 40-yard line by Stover. He was hit in midair by Joe Cannavino, but held onto the ball on the 36-yard line. That is going to be pretty close to a 1st down. Boy, this young Stover has grabbed that ball under some very tough conditions this afternoon. It's 4th down for Oregon. They have about 6 inches to go for a 1st down on the Ohio State 13 line. They're going to try for it as they send a flanker, Turville, to the left, right down under our Gillette NBC microphone. He's standing about 15 yards outside on the flank of the line of scrimmage. The ball is taken by Crabtree. A pitch out for Morris. He's around the right side of the 30. To the 20-yard line, still on his feet, is Crabtree, and he's finally down on the 20. All these Oregon Ducks are fighting here this afternoon against the highly vaunted, battling Buckeyes of Ohio State. Thomas and Sheprat made the tackle on the 20-yard line of Ohio State. It's Oregon owning the ball on the Ohio State 20-yard line for another 1st down. They've moved, please remember, 42 yards so far since having picked up the ball back on their own 38-yard line. Matt Linden made a nice downfield block that time for his quarterback on the option play. Now the flanker to the left is Turville. Oregon's ball on the Ohio State 20, 7-7 the score. Crabtree on the long count, takes the ball, quarterback option, he keeps, slides off the right tackle, moves up for 2 and is dropped hard by Jim Marshall. A 2-yard pickup. Throws the ball to the 18-yard line. That makes it 2nd down coming up at 8 yards to go for Oregon on the Ohio State 18. Boy, what a game we've seen here this afternoon. We got about 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the 3rd period of a 7-7 tie. To the line of scrimmage come the Oregon Wetfoots. To a tight tee in the backfield on the long count. It's Crabtree taking the ball, fades. Looks his field over, throws to the front on the slide. It is Turville jumping high to grab. Trembless knocking down for Ohio State on the 10. That ball was intended for Turville. He had his hands on it, but so did Frank Trembless. Had his hands on it. He was successful in batting it away from the arms of the intended receiver. Hugging the sideline on the far side. Crabtree takes the ball, rolls back, throws one downfield. It's almost complete, but that's right. See who knocked that one down. Frank Trembless. Frank Trembless in there to knock that ball down. It was intended for left end. Kimbrough. Sophomore, he didn't get his hands on it. Now time is being called out by the University of Oregon. They want to collect themselves. Timeout down in the field. The score is Ohio State 7 and Oregon 7. Ready for the ball to be snapped back. It'll be an angle from the 24-yard line. There is the boot. It is no good. Boot is no good. So Ohio State will take over. Ohio State will take over on their own 20-yard line. So that's a break for Ohio State. They're moving on their 21st down now, 10 yards to go, and there'll be a couple of substitutions coming in. Galen Cisco goes out. Dan James comes in at center. Ready for the first play as he comes up tight under center, takes the ball, takes the pitch up, and then hands off to White. Was stopped after picking up 2 at left guard. He moves to the 22. J.C. Wheeler in there at left end, nice in low and in under, along with number 74, Aschenbacher. Darrell Aschenbacher is in there at left tackle. Dave Powell of Eugene, Oregon at the center. 8 yards to go. Columbus takes the ball and pitches back to Clark, the halfback. He's right around the left side of the 20, hit by 3 men, and finally drives his way to the 25, and is hit and steps out of bounds on his 30 on the side of the field. Jack Crabtree making the stop for Oregon. It'll be enough for a first down and 10 yards to go for Ohio State on their 30-yard line. They'll give them their 12th first down of the ball game, as matched with the 15th that Oregon has picked up here this afternoon. Leo Brown goes way outside on the scrimmage line. Left end. There's a big pitch out and a hand over to White, fullback. Bob is into the center of the line, moves up to the 34-yard line as Dan James and Bill Jobko open a hole big enough to roll a truck through there. And closing that pass was Darrell Aschenbacher. He makes a stop. Right up to the 35-yard line to pick up the 5. Makes the second down coming up in about 5 yards still for Ohio State in this tied-up ball game at 7-7. Oh, this has been a dandy here this afternoon. Again, Brown, the left end goes way out wide to the left 15 yards on the far side. There's a fake pitch out again. It's White again on the roll. Into the center he goes. The fullback goes to the 40. Hit it to 40 and dropped. That is going to be pretty short, pretty close to a first down, maybe just short. But there may be enough for that first down. It's the first down, all right. And while they move the chain, we pause 10 seconds for station identification.
KFI Los Angeles, Earl C. Anthony Incorporated.
The left. The stutter play in effect. The ball is given over to the fullback White, who is trying to pull his way through the right side. He gets up to the 45-yard line. Hit the 45-yard line and stopped. Bob Hurd at guard for the University of Oregon makes the stop. Right in the backfield. Clark goes to motion. The fake pitch out to him. And right again. This time over the 50. He goes driving off right tackle to the Oregon 48-yard line. Willie West in there to make the stop. This big guy. Make that the 47-yard line. Well, they pick up that time 8 yards. Keep it tight in the backfield. Trumbull takes the ball. Breaks off and again gets to White. There he goes again, right to the middle of the line, driving down to the 37-yard line. Boy, that guy White just puts his head down. He's like a bull in a china shop. Get out of my way. Jack Crabtree apparently was shaken up on that last play. He's getting up slowly now. Each side having 15 first downs. As that drive up the middle was enough for a first down for Ohio State on the, call it, 36-yard line. I think he will. Right in the backfield again, and it's a give off to Clark, who sneaks off the right side and cuts back over and drives in off left guard on a quick reverse setup. Moves over for a couple of yards down to the 33 as Bob Hurd stops the breakaway runner. Seen a ball game here today, this sellout house. As they fake this time to the fullback, it's Keith by quarterback Tremblett, and he's snowed under. Back to the line of scrimmage, you lose about a yard on this play to the 33. Dave Powell, Eugene, Oregon center for the Whipwoods in order to make the stop. Ball 15 yards in the sideline on the near sideline. Down in 7. Keep it tight, C. And Tremblett hands off again to White, who pulls his way through the center. And when he hits that line, it's just like opening the floodgates. Everybody just goes ahead of him. Fires that ball right down to the 28-yard line for first down. Elfenhoffen finally making the stop for the University of Oregon on the 20, well, you've got to call it 23-yard line, down to the 23. Just first down for Ohio State on the 23-yard line of Oregon. They send Brown way out to the left. The left end is 15 yards outside the scrimmage line. On the scrimmage line, but outside. The actual operations tight T in the backfield. The ball is taken by Krempus, pitch back to Clark. He swings to the right side, hugs the sideline, hit at the 21-yard line, and knocked out of bounds on the 21-yard line. Hey, that's the end of the third quarter. The score, Ohio State 7, the University of Oregon 7. Sending Brown 15 yards outside. That's their left end. Tight T in the backfield. The ball is taken. Fake pitch out. White is the receiver. He takes the ball and bucks through the left side of the line. Gets up to about the 18-yard line before he's hit and dropped. Ball on the 18-yard line. Let's see who made that stop in there. That's Linden. Linden making the stop along with Rutkow. Ball down on the 18-yard line. Ball's about equal distance between the sidelines on the Oregon 18. Ohio State in possession, 3rd and 5. Score is 7 and 7. They get these glasses on this close formation out. Columbus calls his signals. Sends a man in the motion to the right, gives to White, who stumbles his way into the line as he tries to hit and falls. He might have picked up a half a yard, and that was about it. He tried to turn, faked a little off to the right, trying to slide through right tackle. Then tried to pick up by coming back over his own right guard. Slipped and fell for about a yard gain. That's it. So the ball is on the 17. Looks as though we may have a try for a field goal at this point. Clark can things over. Clark is coming out of the ball game. I believe Canavino is coming out of the ball game. And in goes Southern. Don Southern of Toronto, a senior. Frank Krempus is going to hold that ball. And from the 24-yard line, now, the University of Oregon from this very same spot, kicking at the same goal post, had their man try it from the very same spot on the field, exactly on the 24-yard line. Let's see whether Southern is successful or Morris fails. The ball is snapped, placed, here's the boot. It is... by Southern's field goal leads it 10-7. Well, that's an oddity, Braven, that I imagine folks will be talking about for a long time. Both of these men tried their field goals from exactly the very same spot on the field.
Guys better watch out. A team is very dangerous when just scored on.
That's true. Southern kicks off. It's deep and goes over the goal line. Marching into the end zone. Kids down there scrambling for the ball. Howard means simply this: the ball will be brought back out to the 20-yard line and given to Oregon on their 20, first down and 10 yards to go. Having been kicked into the end 10 for the Ducks. Crabtree on the long toss, takes the ball, fires over the line of scrimmage to his own 30-yard line, completed to Kimbrough for what may be a first down and looks like a first down on the Oregon 32. Each side now having 16 first downs. Ball on the 32-yard line. That ball is 15 yards into the sideline. Across the way. Shanley becomes a striker 15 yards outside of right end as the Ducks come out of the huddle. They're behind now, 10-7. Crabtree operating very well behind that line. Takes a pitch over to the left and turns and tries to throw a pass. Takes a pitch over to the left and turns and tries to throw a pass, but he snowed under and may have dropped the ball. However, I believe the whistle had been blown. We'll see in just a moment. It's Oregon's ball. The whistle had been blown. In there very fast, number 68, Murray Thomas and Bertha Arnold. Dropped him. Lost about 4 yards on that play. The ball back now on the 28-yard line. And Ohio State is out of the ball game. We'll get his replacement for you in a moment. Oregon takes the ball. There is a pitch back to Willie West. He runs wide around the right side, throws a pass downfield. It's completed on his own 40 to his right end Stover. Stover down to his own 44 and dropped there by Joe Canavino. Another forward pass by the Lynn Casanova crew, and it gets them a first down on their own 44-yard line. Oh, this game's all over by a long shot. Just hold on to everything. Got 12.5 minutes left to play in the fourth period. As Willie West, the left halfback, goes wide, 15 yards outside of left end to hug the sidelines on the far side. The quarterback option play by Crabtree. The ball is given to Morris. He has nowhere to go as he comes to the sideline on the 45 and is pumped out of bounds by Galen Cisco. 45 for a 1-yard pickup. Quarterback option play, and he pitched over to Morris, who had nowhere actually to go. He couldn't make the turn at the corner because he was way outside of the scrimmage line. He's their flank back on the tee. Operating against a 6-man line is Crabtree fading back. Throws a pass to Kohler. On to the Ohio State 45. He's hit knocked out of bounds as he grabbed by Joe Canavino. Again. Oregon goes to the air to pick up another first down on the Ohio State 45-yard line. Crabtree throwing to Ron Stover. See, that's on the 45. That's right. They're going to measure, but I'll let my last Gillette on that one. So it's a first down. Time is being taken by the officials. They move it across. They're stretching the chain as the ball or any part of it, you know. It may be short, it may not be. If short, it'll be by just inches. It's by the nose of the ball short. That's how close it was. Crabtree up tight under center, ready to call these signals out. Takes the ball, he himself bucks into the line, and he'll make the first down. That's for sure. Down to the 54-yard line. And that'll give Oregon 18 first downs to 16 for Ohio State. Ohio State leads it 10-7. On the 44-yard line, it's a first down and 10 yards to go for Oregon. Crabtree on the long count behind the balance line. Grabs the ball and pitches out to Morris, who swings wide and then is trapped. Spins back to the line of scrimmage to the 45-yard line. It's hit at the 45 and knocked all the way back to about the 49 by Bertha Arnold. That big guy hit you. I guess you stay hit a while. Leo Brown was in on the play. The ball was actually pushed back to the 47. 3-yard loss on the play. The second down coming up in about 13 for Oregon as they send their halfback Shanley to hug the sideline on this side of the field. He's the flank back on the tee. Ball is taken to Crabtree. He breaks into the play for a moment, fumbles the ball down on the Ohio State 24-yard line, and it's recovered by Canavino. Canavino recovering a fumble. Now the ball grabbed by Stover for a completed pass. And Stover fumbled when he was hit, and Canavino recovers on the 24-yard line for Ohio State. Breaking a ball game for you. Well, it's Ohio State first and 10 on their own 24. On a fumble recovery by Joe Canavino of Cleveland. That's really a tough break for Oregon. White is coming out of the ball game. Big number 33 rolling across the field. Number 44, Poe is coming out. Remblis, Canavino, and Galen Cisco in there in the backfield for Ohio State. They come to the line of scrimmage on their own 24-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. Remblis takes the ball, takes the pitch out, and hands over to Cisco, who bucks into the line, gets to the 30. That's by the father. 6-yard pickup as he was stopped there by Luttenschlager, the right halfback of the University of Oregon. 10-7 in the ball game with 10.5 minutes left to play in the fourth period. The ball game we have seen here this afternoon. Ball on the 30-yard line of Ohio State in their possession, equal distance between sidelines on the 30. Right there in the backfield, Crumbles takes the ball on the stutter play, hands off to Clark, who fights his way through the right side of the line and picks up just about 2 yards, and that's it. It might be 3. Making the stop there was Sheffield, who's in the ball game at left guard for Oregon. Up to the 32 for a 2-yard pickup, and that's it on that play. Makes it 3rd and 2 coming up. 3rd and 2 for Ohio State on their 32. Crumbles calling out his signals now. Behind center, Dan Funk. Right in the backfield. Ball is taken by Crumbles. He fades out to the right, keeps the ball himself, goes to the 40, and he's down at the 40-yard line. Making the tackle was Crabtree. That means that's the 17th first down now for Ohio State. Ball on the 41-yard line. Ball on the 41, 15 yards in the sideline across the way as Ohio State has just rolled to another first down. They move to the huddle now. The Scarlet Church break it and come to the line of scrimmage. They keep a tight tee in the backfield this time. End split wide 1 yard up front on the balance line. As Oregon moves into their defensive position, including a 5-man line right now. The ball is taken on the stutter play, handed off to Cisco. The fullback is to the right side of the line, moved to the 45 and dropped there after a 4-yard pickup. Jimbo in there to make the stop for Oregon on the Ohio State 45-yard line. That'll be second down coming up for Ohio State. They'll have 6 yards to go with 8 minutes and a half left to play in the fourth period. They're leading over Oregon by the tune 10-7. This afternoon, Lou Marley has been a surprising ball game. Operating on the split tee, a tight tee in the backfield, and a quick handoff is given to Cisco, who spins his way through the line to the 50, and his hit 15 goes to the 48-yard line in Oregon territory for another Ohio State first down. Sheffield making the stop for the University of Oregon. Let's say that'll be 18 first downs apiece now for these two ball clubs as they continue to battle, move over the ground and through the air. 10-7. Ohio State leads. 8 minutes left to play in the fourth period. It certainly has been a thrill this afternoon to talk about the fight on the field between these two ball clubs. And right now, Ohio State has called for timeout on the field, and the score is Ohio State 10, University of Oregon has 7. First down and 10 yards to go on the Oregon 48-yard line. From the tight T formation, Galen Cisco takes the handoff and knifes his way through the right side of the line with the 45, hit and drop on the 42-yard line. Dave Fish making the stop that time for Oregon. He's in there at center down in place of Bob Peterson. The ball on the 42-yard line. Coming up to the line of scrimmage now, Ohio State has the ball second down. Ball is snapped and on the stutter play. Again, it's Galen Cisco on the belly of ride series, moving through the center of the line to the 39. Again, it's Dave Fish in there to make the stop for Oregon. Out on the 39, 3-yard pickup. The ball was on the 39-yard line in Oregon territory, about equidistant between sidelines, a third and about 1 to go. Ohio State in possession, leading 10-7. With 7 minutes of this fourth period left to play. This has really been a fine football game this afternoon. Hope you folks around the country and the world have enjoyed. Again, it's Cisco on a handoff. Moves into the right side of the line and steps his way over 2 men and drives down to about the 38 for first down. Ball on the 38-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go now. At the tackles, Rutkow and Sheffield at the guards and Dave Fish at center. A fake pitch back and out. But a stutter is given over to the fullback, Galen Cisco, and he drives into the right side of the line, moves up to about the 35. He's hit and dropped there. And that signal is for some substitutes coming to the ball game for the University of Oregon. Make that ball resting on the 36-yard line. Pick up about 2. Makes it second and 8 for Ohio State on the Oregon 37-yard line. Up to the line of scrimmage now as Dan Funk goes over the line to set the balance line. Split tee up front, tight tee in the backfield. The handoff to the left halfback, Don Clark. He's in the center of the line. I think he may have fumbled. Let's see, he was stopped anyway. The hard smashing tackle right at the 32-yard line. Right at the 32-yard line is where he was stopped. 37-yard line is where he was stopped. Makes it third down and 8. Great Fish in there low and hard to make the stop, and he hit that ball carrier real well. Shoulder tackle. Ball on the 37. Brown comes way outside of the line of scrimmage. He's their end, operating on the left side, 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. Tight tee in the Ohio State backfield. Krembles barks out his signals on the run count. Keeps up tight under center. Operating against the 6-man line. He takes the ball finally on the very long count. Keeps himself. As the red flag goes down on the field, he is held behind the line of scrimmage. Held behind the line of scrimmage. Well, the red flag going down on the field. 5-yard penalty is being stepped off against Ohio State. For the delay of the game. That's the first Ohio State penalty, I believe, in the ball game. Braven Dyer will check up on that with us. I think that's the first penalty Ohio State has picked up this afternoon. That moves the ball back to the 41-yard line, where it'll be the third down coming up and about 13 yards to go with 5 minutes and 15 seconds according to the unofficial clock here left to play in the ball game. With Ohio State leading 10-7. breaks the huddle, move to the line of scrimmage. Keep a tight T in the backfield, and just split wide the 1 yard, and Crumbles on the keep play. Tries the quarterback sneak it off the right side, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage on the 41. So that'll be 4th down, and about 12 yards to go. 4th down. Ohio State has moved themselves into a kicking situation now. Going back to stand on the Ohio State 47-yard line is Frank Kremblitz. Going back in safeties, Shanley and West. For Oregon, they're standing back on the 5. The ball is kicked off to the sideline on the right, angling for the sideline. That ball will go out of bounds on about the 15 or 16-yard line. Make it the 17-yard line on the far side of the field. The ball is kicked out of bounds. Keep Oregon from returning. So there is the first punt. Ball on the 17-yard line. Oregon sending a few new substitutes in the ball game. Well, these boys playing on this Oregon ball club here this afternoon are from California, like Bob Reptile, Ron Stover, Crabtree, all have played excellent ball games. Well, there are a lot of great sports figures hailing from California. Men like Fred Haney, Casey Stengel, Duke Snyder, Gil McDougall. Oregon has the ball. Crabtree at quarterback. Keeps the tight T in the backfield. And there is a triple reverse behind the line of scrimmage. Coming over to Corbin. Is out. Burns is down to the right. Is down to the 25-yard line. Fights his way to the 26-yard line before Leo Brown stops him. Also in our play, number 65, Bill Jutko, on the 26-yard line. That's a pickup of about 9 yards. Pickup of about 9 makes second and less than a yard. Triple reverse behind the line of scrimmage off the T formation with Burbo carrying. Now let's see what Oregon's going to do. From the tee, the fullback Morse takes the handoff and drives to the right side of the line to make it a first down in his own 28-yard line. Well, what a football game we've seen here this afternoon. Never mind which way it's going to jump. We've seen a dandy. Score standing right now 10-7 in favor of Ohio State. 3 minutes and a half left to play. Durville goes right off to the left as a flank back to hug the sidelines across the way in this 10-7 ball game. Crabtree takes the ball, rolls out to the left. Quarterback option play. He keeps going. Down to the 35. Hit at the 35 on the far side of the field and knocked down. On the 35-yard line by Frank Kremblitz, the Akron junior quarterback at Ohio State. Make that the 34-yard line for a pickup of 6. And the second round coming up.
The game is so hot that the Rose Bowl is caught on fire. Look up there to your left.
Hey, how about that, huh? It sure has. Now on the 34-yard line, Oregon's ball. A pitch back, a triple reverse behind the line of scrimmage. That is Turbo throwing a pass downfield and is caught on the 48-yard line by Stover. He's knocked down by Joe Canavino. A triple reverse behind the line of scrimmage and a forward pass is its result. Over the receiver on the 48-yard line for a first down for Oregon. They're on the move again. And a substitute coming in the ball game. Corville is coming out. Leroy Phelps coming in at halfback. Leroy Phelps in at halfback for Charlie Turville. For Oregon. 2 minutes and a half, and you bet Len Casanova will have his ball club in the air with passes here. The shadows settle over the Sierra Madre Mountains. They've completed 12 out of 18 passes. Oregon, they're still on the move. Flanker off to the left. Here's Leroy Phelps. The ball is taken by Crabtree's back. He rolls out. He cocks his arm. He throws. It is no good. Down on the 28-yard line. But an interference penalty is going to be called against Ohio State on the Ohio State 47. Pass will be ruled completed on the 47-yard line on the far side of the field. So it'll be a first down and 10 yards to go for Oregon on the 47-yard line of Ohio State. Oh, don't go away. Anything can happen. We still have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in this fourth period. Ohio State 10, Oregon They put up a whale of a game here this afternoon. They have 7. A flanker's off to the left. The ball is snapped. Out to the right comes Crabtree. Throws a pass to the flat. It's completed on the 50. And it is Shenley who is knocked down on the 50-yard line by Galen Cisco. A red flag goes to the field. And we'll see what kind of penalties are coming on this one. Might have a clipping penalty inflicted at this point against the University of Oregon. We'll see and know that in just a moment. Checking up on the play, an Oregon boy runs Stover. Right end. He's getting up and limping now, but he's going to be all right. See if there's a penalty to be inflicted against Oregon on the clip. If so, it will happen at the 50-yard line. The penalty will be stepped off from that point. A penalty stepped off against the University of Oregon for clipping moves them back to their own 33-yard line, the 3.5-yard line. Ball is taken by Crabtree, jump pass, cross line, finish, over Madison 50. The kid is knocked down on the 49-yard line by Frank Kremlis. That's Stover in there grabbing that football again, and what a day he has had for himself. Up to the 49-yard line of Ohio State. Well, he got back all but 1 yard of what they lost. Second down coming up now. 11 yards to go. Second and 11 for Oregon on the Ohio State 49. Ball taking distance between sidelines. Again, Crabtree rolls off to the right, cocks his arm. He can't find anyone to keep. He starts to run, and he's caught from behind and knocked down at about the 43-yard line. Dick Sheprat, a fine man who's finally in there to take him on the 43. However, he picked up some yardage on it for about 6. Got a minute and a half left to play unofficially in the 4th period. And Oregon is trailing 10-7. Their fine governor from the state of Oregon predicted 17-13 Oregon. He's been the closest I know of so far. Crabtree rolling off to the left is knocked from behind on the 49 by Jim Houston. The big fellow just threw his arms around him and knocked him down on the 39-yard line for a loss of about 6 yards. The clock running out to 55 seconds right now. Oregon has very little time left to them to make up a 3-point deficit. Then 7 Ohio State, a bitterly fought ball game. Shenley, the flanker off to the right, down under our microphones on the 50. There's Crabtree off to the right. He's going to throw. He does downfield, and it's knocked down. Intended for Stover. Knocking it down was Thomas. Now the incompleted forward pass will stop the clock at about 39 seconds left to play in the 4th period. Down coming up. Now let's see. It'll be the first. The ball is on the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 Ohio State. Well, that just about stops everything. They'll play ball handling control here now to close it out and squeeze Oregon out of this win. And a ball game that will go down in Rose Bowl history. Ohio State out of the huddle, keeping it tight in the backfield with Frank Kremlis up tight under center, keeping the ball himself, just dropping on his knees to kill time. 34 seconds left. Ohio State walking slowly back to the huddle. It's ball control now for an Ohio State win, and that's how they're going to be able to do it. As Oregon has put up a fine fight against the stubborn Ohio State team. I don't think anyone expected this ball game to be this close. And about 14 seconds left to play. The clock ticks off to 10 as the Staters come out of the huddle to the line of scrimmage. 7, 5, 6, 4, 3, and another quarterback sneak into the line. About 4 seconds left to play in the ball game. And the time has been called as Oregon is sending in some substitutions on the far side of the field. Some of the fans have broken out of the stands and have come down to try to rip down the goalposts on the north side to our left. Got about 4 seconds left to play in the ball game. To get these substitutes in for Oregon would be almost an impossibility. Ready to go now. Ohio State standing on the line of scrimmage, waiting for time to be called back in. There'll be another play. Kremlis will keep the ball at quarterback. Probably just drop on his knee to kill out the time. He does. Pushes himself into the center of the line. And that should be just about. That's it. That ends it. That's present here at the Rose Bowl game this afternoon. The final score of the Rose Bowl game, Ohio State 10, and the University of Oregon has 7.
With a double easy applicator that both waves.
A very happy Ohio State marching band moving off the field here at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. Ohio State has just won this Rose Bowl game 10-7. Here this afternoon in this splendidly fought football game, fine representation from both schools, we have had the privilege of bringing it to you play-by-play. Helping and assisting us in the booth this afternoon are two fellows who lived and died equally with the two ball clubs they were representing as sponsors. First of all, the young man who was representing the University of Oregon here this afternoon, John Ramsey, a Southern California graduate himself, but has been working here in the Pacific Conference for quite some time. I'd just like him to step in here and tell us in just a few words how he saw this afternoon's ball game. John Ramsey, how about that?
Thank you, Al. I think that the Oregon team has given a better representation of themselves than was expected of them. The Pacific Coast Conference, I feel, is getting probably a little bit stronger. The games are getting to be a little bit closer. You must remember the UCLA Michigan State a few years ago was 17-14, 3 points difference. Today's game was won by 3 points. Let's hope that we from the Pacific Coast can get a little bit stronger and probably next year pull the upset.
Well, thank you very much, John Ramsey. Thank you for your work in the booth here this afternoon. It's always a pleasure to be with you, and this is the 4th time that you've worked this ball game with us. An excellent job. Thank you very much. On the other side of the fence, and of course he's biting his fingernails because he's on the victorious side. We had the privilege of working with Murray in the Ohio State-Michigan game this year, in which he assisted us very ably, and the same can be said of him here this afternoon. He even catches the downfield block. Murray Cohen, how'd you see the ball game, buddy?
Al, I feel that Oregon was very much underrated. They showed in their statistics a very fine defensive ball club, and evidently they've done a good scouting job on Ohio State. They came up with a terrific defense, and they kept us from scoring as much as you know that they did. I feel that Ohio State played as good a game as they could have under the conditions. When I say conditions, of course I mean there have been several ball players who have been injured, and although they recovered enough to play, it does hinder them somewhat in their speed. No excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses. Just got held down by a real good defense, by a good scouting job. Casanova and his coaches should be congratulated for their job of scouting Ohio State.
Well, what was the final score?
10-7, Ohio State over the University of Oregon.
Buddy Buck, you can uncross your fingers now. Larry, thanks a lot for your work here this afternoon. And in turning the microphone back to Braven Dyer, I don't think I have to say anything about this guy. I think Braven knows exactly how I feel about him and about how his hundreds and hundreds of friends feel about him. Braven, I know you have many comments to make on the ball game. It was awfully nice to be with you again for the 7th straight year broadcasting the Rose Bowl game, and